time to go to Dalimil Inn and see what Lubar has to say. They probably need the same help as Northreach did with the Madame and Martha. There's Lubar. Oh, what? Oh.
Poor bastard. Couldn't run because of the weight of his load. Still, better a branded than one of us.
Evil! Would you say that? About the kid that was branded?
When did you get so big?
Oh, Torgal. You're so cute. Adorable. The best.
Sid! Your new companion appears much more formidable than your uncle. Should I be worried?
You haven't been introduced.
Jill, Clive has told me much about you.
All lies,
We were
I'm
about
sure.
to
Your story
steal his
said
woman.
that Dalimil has a bandit problem.
Indeed. Although, you're a little late. They left with our food and guild days ago.
Any idea where they went?
The desert's a big place. Your guess is as good as mine. But the fact is, I have more immediate concerns.
What did you say to me? What did you say?
As if by magic. Let's just say we've yet to reach a consensus about how to solve Dalimil's little problem. And at this rate, it won't be the actions of the bandits which prove to be our undoing. It will be our own. I've tried reasoning with the dissenting parties, but even the desert hare has limits.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
What makes you think they'll listen to us?
What makes you think they won't?
She makes a fair point, Sid. And you won't have wasted much of your precious time if you fail. They're just across the courtyard.
I mean, Jill could do the talking, right?
Suppose we just follow the shouting.
She could probably just bat her eyes and they'll be like, this gorgeous lady is telling us something. Whatever it is, we agree.
You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your men whose throats were slit. Blood for blood, it's the only way. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on our walls as a lesson to the rest.
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more? We're better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandits' ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that. Do you hear me?
But what happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be your throat that's slit.
That's enough. Both of you. Any more of this and I'll throw you out myself. Come back when you're ready to talk like adults.
Victor. What's he doing here?
I wonder. Dalimil Inn, a literal oasis in the Velcroy, a desert in the western part of Dalmekia. Dalimil offers goods, food, and respite to those travelers who endure the long march through sweltering sands. In particular, the hot spring baths fed from nearby waters will not only ease the pains of the road, but are also rumored to cure all manner of ills, from boils and buboes to the various afflictions to the groin, many of which are like to be contracted at one of Dalimil's many brothels. Ew! Ew. I don't think a hot bath will save you from that. Ew.
Sid. And Lady Jill. What brings you here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Costness is in chaos, and the markets have all but ceased to operate. The Briar's Kiss here in Dalimil is the only place I can reliably obtain supplies. I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles. He thought I might be able to talk some sense into these fools. But if you're here, I suppose his patience must be waning.
Who are those people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. And the reason this place might be headed the same way as Costness. It's these accursed skies. The darkness is enough to drive a man to madness. Or an entire city, for that matter.
We're still working on the skies. But in the meantime, perhaps we can find a solution to Dalimil's problems.
I hope so. For all our sakes.
Speak with Lubor. We'll see what we can do.
So, you see my predicament?
What I saw was a room full of people who were angry and afraid. And with good reason by the sound of it. But if left to smolder, that anger and fear could set the entire town alight.
My thoughts exactly. What to do? Both sides wish to protect their homes and livelihoods, if only they could agree on how. But as long as they are divided, we are vulnerable.
And if there's one thing bandits like, it's an easy target.
What would Sid the Outlaw suggest?
Well, if it were my namesake, he'd let them choose for themselves, and be on hand to pick up the pieces when it all went wrong.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
A recipe for disaster is precisely what it is. But perhaps that realization would be enough to make them question the ingredients. While it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie will countenance the other's proposal, it may still be possible to make them doubt their own. Before presenting them with a third option.
And that would be?
To pool our resources and save the city ourselves. Why fight each other?
When all that fear and anger can be directed at the bandits.
It appears we have a plan of action. Victor, pay Conrad a visit. See if you can't convince him of his folly. I'll speak with Natalie.
As you wish.
Your faces are not well known in this town. That may prove useful. Don't worry, Victor and I will do most of the talking. You need only play along.
Play along.
What he means to say is yes.
Oh, wow. I love Jill and Clive's dynamic. They're so much fun.
Picture it, Conrad. Your own city guard. With you as captain.
I don't know about that.
Oh, why not? You'd be a great captain.
Here she is. The Lady of the Spear herself. Conrad,
Oh, play along. Right.
may I introduce you to Jane? Commander of the Red Wings. The oldest mercenary guild in the Free Cities.
A pleasure, my
And
lady.
scene.
The pleasure is all mine.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canver to inquire about a contract.
She was
Victor
caught off
says
guard.
You told him no. That there aren't any men left to hire. Is that true?
True as the crystals cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. And not just from us Red Wings. You know of the 7 high houses. There must be 2 swords assigned each one. Granted, we have a few boys left. If it's boys you're looking for.
Well, Conrad,
She's good.
are you saying that Dalimil's finest cannot defend this town better than a gaggle of unblooded striplings? That a band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you yourselves?
Absolutely not. We'll show those bastards who they're dealing with.
That's the
Can't believe
spirit.
that actually worked.
Conrad's not what you called the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why I had you do the talking and not Sid. Well played, my lady.
I wonder if Conrad has the right of it. We always called on sellswords and the men of the rock to guard our gates before. We don't have enough blades to arm everyone, nor enough physicers to heal the injured. I don't know if we can do this alone.
My shop.
If I had my pickaxe, I would...
Okay, help recruit Natalie.
Possible to buy something, and we may yet be allowed to keep it.
Yes, but
I agree with Natalie.
Ah, here he is now.
Oh, it's Clive's turn?
Allow me to introduce Lord Underhill of Randalar's prestigious League of Merchants.
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill.
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord, and how you were lamenting the state of the capital's stores.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the blight mean this season's harvest won't be enough to fill them for winter.
Indeed, certainly that is the case. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine, driving the prices higher than most commoners can afford. It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse than I thought. If what Lord Underhill says is true, I fear we have little hope of supplementing our stores, meager though they regrettably are. And while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our more bellicose citizens from seeking vengeance, I sense Conrad is not wrong in his assessment of the bandits' likely return. Which means that now, more than ever, we will need to secure what little we still have. Food, weapons, herbs, everything. If our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow, we must stand united.
All right. If it will help to protect my home, I'll do it. But you needn't have gone through this charade.
Oh, she knew.
Thank you, Clive. Your performance was nothing if not workmanlike.
She saw right through it.
I didn't say it was good.
She did.
Merely that it produced the desired effect. Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and we shall see what we face.
Well, we succeeded one way.
Convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
Why, Clive, are you jealous? There's no need to be. Jill has only eyes on you.
Mummy, I'm scared.
I'm ruined.
Good news, Sid. Both Conrad and Natalie have somewhat gracefully accepted their new roles. With time, they may even learn to.
Time no longer appears to be the luxury it was before lunch.
I take it your scouts found the bandits.
Technically, it would be the bandits who found my scouts. It appears they march for Dalimil as we speak. All
He's so
of them.
beautiful.
You're not serious.
They don't just want food, they want the whole damn town.
I have a favor to ask. I'm told the bandits march in 2 groups, one from the south and one from the desert, in a move doubtless intended to stretch our already gossamer-thin defenses.
Very well. Jill and I will meet those from the desert. But what of the rest?
The rest, my friend, the city shall fight. Together. The stakes, I concede, are high. But if this does not unite Dalimil, nothing will.
That is a lot of faith to put into those who had their hands around each other's throats but a moment ago.
Then it will be for us to see that their hands are kept occupied. And I do mean us.
I thought you might say that.
We'll hold them off for as long as we can.
And we will do the same.
Okay, let's round up these bandits. Let's see how close they are. Oh, they were right at the gates.
Have come to welcome us.
I'll take that one.
It's all yours.
You do that. Imagine thinking that it was only a man, a woman, and a dog with no superpowers. The enemies would be like, ah, easy. Until the use of magic. Bye-bye. Sometimes it's so hard to see which one is the magician. Especially when you're fighting someone else. You can't really move the camera around. Aha! Got you all. Ooh, a fast one. He just appeared out of nowhere.
Too slow.
This is a good combo. Stand there. Oh. Miss. I should have not let go. See how much damage that did? Even though I missed. There we go. Is the mission complete? We'll see.
The townspeople. Could they have held out?
I don't hear any fighting. What do you think?
That we should hurry.
I mean, didn't we just protect them all? Nothing should have happened. Did they all get together now? They look angry. Or not.
Natalie, I owe you an apology. You did well out there. The inn would have been lost had you not held the line.
Without you, there would have been no line to hold. You saved us, Conrad. You saved Dalimil.
We all saved Dalimil.
Conrad seems to have had a change of heart.
I'd say they both have.
I take it from your presence that our visitors from the desert won't be joining us either. Pity.
The plan worked, Sid. Granted, it only took an army of bloodthirsty bandits at our gate.
Calm now, Victor. Why quibble over the details?
Worked.
We are united, and that is all that matters. As for you, Sid, you fight considerably better than you act.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Jill, however, she did great. Lord Underhill. So funny.
Our friends seem to have things under control. For now, at least. Let's go and put Otto's mind at rest.
I love that when Clive was pretending to be this Lord Underhill character, he even made up his voice. Or however you say that in English. I've lost the word for it. But he didn't use his actual voice. You could like slightly hear it. So incredibly fun. Are we gonna switch? I mean, we do need some faster spells. So we don't have to wait too long. I might reset the abilities. I love that you can reset all abilities. And just build up your abilities and spells, everything that you feel comfortable with. And what is good for crowd control isn't usually good for 1v1 battles like boss battles. The skies look less
I'd be
pink.
happy to tell Otto everything that happened. But I know he appreciates it when you spare him the time.
Did you see that?
Then let's go do that. You saw what?
We've sent Cursebreakers to Martha's Rest, Dalimil, and Northreach. Hopefully they can help maintain the peace. Or at least a semblance of it.
Sounds good. Until next time.
Was wondering when you turn up. Had owls from all our friends thanking you for your timely intervention. How was
He
it
looks
you always
happy.
managed to arrive at just the right moment?
Luck, I suppose. Any word on the rest of the realm?
Let's see. Storm's still crying out for mother crystals. The nations are still in chaos. And the skies are still the colour of a kick in the kidneys 2 days on. So...
Right.
Clive, we knew this was going to happen. Well, not the bleeding skies part, but you take my point. Now's not the time to second-guess yourself. Now's the time to visit the infirmary. Tarja says your brother's awake.
Thank you, Otto.
So it was not Sylvester, but Olivier who served as Ultima's puppet. And when Dion learned of this, he sought to slay the fiend. Only for his father to take the spear that would have freed him. Enough to drive a man to madness.
Small wonder he hasn't stirred. I would be afraid to wake.
Feel so bad for Dion.
Had I but reached out to him sooner, warned him of the threat Ultima posed.
You couldn't have known.
Now, both an empire and her prince lie broken.
Joshua, what do you know of Ultima?
Hopefully more than we do.
Very little, I'm afraid. Despite my best efforts. 18 years ago, as I lay buried beneath the rubble of Phoenix Gate, 'twas not death who came for me, but another. And it was while in my rescuer's care I first heard of Ultima. I've been chasing his shadow ever since. Ultima is driven by some deep, dark purpose, and for whatever reason, it would seem you are crucial to his designs. He will stop at nothing to have you, even if that means toppling an empire.
But why me? What possible use could I be to such a creature?
To become a vessel.
That is one of many answers that have eluded me. Yet, I am certain of this. It is not mere chance. You were chosen for a reason. All dominants carry within them the might of an Eikon. Nigh limitless power that is at once acutely limited. I wield fire, and only fire.
And I only ice. 8 wardens for 8 elements.
But Clive...
Clive.
You are different. You're special. Your abilities begin with the flames of Ifrit. But they do not end there. The fact Ifrit can even exist goes against everything we thought we knew of dominance. Perhaps Ultima has been waiting for one such as you, whose potential is truly limitless.
I have a theory.
That thing several times now. If it or he, as you say, needs me, why hasn't he claimed me as he did the boy?
Were I to hazard a guess, I'd say the two of you are somehow incompatible. His mind not properly attuned to your body.
His mind?
Mind, awareness, spirit, call it what you wish. But I believe Ultima to be an embodiment of the concept. It is why I struggle and fail to contain him here inside me.
Yeah, because he doesn't seem to be just one person.
With every setting sun, I feel my strength wane. And though the Phoenix's flames mend the prison I have made for Ultima, they do so at a cost.
He's several at once.
I must find a means to bring an end to him before I meet my own.
What were you thinking?
It was that or let him take Clive. And I've always had a soft spot for my brother.
But that doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Sure. Clive!
He's not feeling well. Oh, now it's Gav?
There's an army of Akashic at the gates of Canver.
Canver. Mid is there as well. Oh, wow. We need to go there fast.
Well, what's the short of it?
I thought Tarja told you. The capital of the Free Cities is under siege by an army of monstrosities. The city guard are doing their best to stem the tide, but numbers ain't on their side.
What of Lord Byron and Mid? Were they able to escape?
No, but they're all right for now. They're hiding with Gav at midship.
We have to get them out of there.
And we shall. Otto, prepare a Stolas. Tell Gav to stay exactly where he is.
Understood.
Vivian, what's the swiftest route to the Free Cities?
That sounds like a question for the map. Look here. This road, through Tabor, should provide the least trouble.
Good.
What a coincidence. Tabor is exactly where I'm bound.
Joshua, bed is where you should be bound.
Yeah.
You don't think I told him the exact same thing?
Were Tarja
Her
not
outfit
such a
is
talented
fire.
healer, I would surely have been inclined to agree. But thanks to her ministrations, I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
All right, we travel together.
Clive.
If he stays close to me, he'll be fine.
Thank you, brother.
I'll look after him.
It's gonna be nice
My attendant
going
was
with
me in the
Joshua.
Dominion before I primed. She would have watched the battle unfold and witnessed its outcome. I trust you'll be waiting for me in Tabor, where I can finally introduce you.
Oh, we got side quests.
Tarja's right. Your brother is in no condition to travel. That's all I'll say on the matter. It's
She's
Mid,
worried.
Gav, and your uncle we should be thinking about now.
I think Joshua will be fine.
But your brother's stubbornness knows no bounds. I'm starting to think it runs in the family.
It certainly does. Anything more on the hunt board? What is there? 3 more. Already cleared all the others. They were all pretty easy. Yeah, right. I had a theory. Like, what if Ultima, like humanity, was just some kind of an experiment to him? To have someone become mythos.
Here, you put me in this situation,
And
Clive.
he had to
Bloody
wait.
well, get me out of it. I need a hand with a recipe.
What do you
It's
need?
me you're looking for? I'm not much of a cook.
You sure?
I'm all the cook will be needing, thank you very much. What I want from you is a little of your time, right? Oh, and perhaps your sword. You remember Ivan's stew, right? Well, despite the look of the thing, and that awful stench, people wolf it down. So I thought I'd try making one of these supposed masterpieces myself. Had a peek at the book and gave it a go, but, well...
It wasn't as straightforward as you'd hoped. Ivan had the same problem.
Yeah, but this is my blimmin' kitchen, and I will not be outdone. So if you don't want to be seen as playing favourites, I suggest you lend me a hand.
I've never been one to play favorites, Molly. And I would be only too happy to lend you a hand. So, what's on the menu this time?
A fried mortress of skyworm. That's one heck of a name, innit? Recipe seemed easy enough to an old hand like
disgusting.
myself. Thought I'd followed it to a T. Only, turns out skyworm livers and drake's mint are not what I thought they were. At least I hope they're not, given the rancid mess they made.
Ivan said the recipes in the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries. Who's to say the ingredients even exist anymore?
Wow. That's a question for a scholar, wouldn't you say? Perhaps you know of one? Kindly old fella who haunts the shelves, maybe?
Fine. I'll go and speak to Harpocrates. Perhaps he'll know something. And if he does, I'll see if I can find your ingredients for you.
You do that. Lest we forget, you've got a reputation to uphold.
Well, let's see what kind of ingredients we need. Hopefully it's not Akashic chocobles.
Still alive, are ya? If you're gonna
Of
buy something, be
course.
quick about it. Is that all?
Nothing new. Okay, let's grab the other questies. Still an eagle.
What am I gonna
An eye for an eye.
Is everything all right, Goots? You seem more discomposed than usual.
Oh, I don't know what that means, but I'm in a bit of a muddle. Oh, I think Nan might be in trouble, and she's...
Oh.
It's all right. You can tell me.
There was a trader came by. One of our usuals, like. Said he'd heard some rotten rumours about her down Dalimil way. Folk are saying she's been selling to bandits and cutthroats and that. I mean, she's fond of a chance to make a coin or two, aye, but she'd never do business with baddies. Especially not the kind who go hating people who haven't done out. I wanted to ask her about it myself, but I'm scared she'll give us a tongue lashing. She'd never give your tongue a lashing, though, would she?
I'm not afraid of lashing. That's so funny.
Don't worry. I'll speak to her.
Oh, thanks, Clive. You'll let me know what she says, won't you?
Of course. I'm sure it's all just a misunderstanding.
Probably. An eye for an eye. And this has to do with Karen? Is it like literally an eye for an eye because she has a glass eye? If that's what you say when you don't have a real eye?
Lady Karen, how's business?
Not nearly as foul as the weather.
He sounded so upbeat.
Doing good trade then? Both in and out of the hideaway?
Can't complain. Wait. What exactly are you getting at? Not once in 5 long years do you pay my affairs half a care, but here you are today raking me over the coals like a bloody popoto.
Just asking. Out of interest.
He's not good at lying. Or acting.
Right. I'm here because I was told that certain rumors have been circulating. About you selling weapons to brigands.
Oh, are ya? And who was it who knows me so well as to tell tales of my evil exploits?
I didn't exactly hear firsthand. All I know is that someone in Dalimil has been spreading word to that effect.
And what? You believe it? You think I'm profiting off the blood of innocents, do you? Look, I've done things I'm not proud of. Might be there were a time when I turned a blind eye to the wretchedness of the world so I could line my pocket. But that woman is no more. And you'd know that if you'd ever paid the slightest bit of notice.
You're right, Lady Karen. I apologize. It was wrong of me to doubt you.
No, it was. Now, I reckon you've got better things to do than pointing your do-gooding finger at a poor old woman.
Of course. Good day.
Well, well, well. We got a lashing. I love how awkward he was.
What's that for you, dear?
Is there anything that we can do? We need this electrum. And gelatinous mass.
That it? Fine.
We got news.
I spoke with Lady Karen.
What did she say?
That the rumors were unfounded, and that I was a fool for thinking they might hold any truth, along with some other things that made her feelings clear. And while it sounds like she may have done things she regretted in her past, she says those days are behind her.
Oh, well, that's good. I knew Nan wasn't caught up in out bad. But why would people say she was? What did she ever do to them? It's not right.
No, it's not. But people do things for all sorts of reasons. Perhaps we'll never know.
Well, I'm going to find out. That trader, he said they were all talking about her in Dalimil. So that's where I'm going. I'll find someone who'll tell me, you'll see.
Are you sure that's wise? Whoever's spreading these rumors means Karen ill.
Oh, right. But that's why you'll be coming with me, isn't it, Clive?
I suppose it is.
Oh, I am very, very intrigued by this quest. If we're gonna get to know much more about Lady Karen. But let's speak with Tomes and this lady.
Will there be... Sid, perhaps you can help me solve a mystery.
I can certainly try. Who's gone missing this time?
It's not who, but what. Mid-scales, the ones she made for her workshop. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about weight, and shortly after the lesson, well, they vanished. My first thought was that they'd taken them off somewhere to play, but when I asked, they swore they had nothing to do with their having disappeared. Which almost certainly means they had everything to do with it.
Perhaps a visit from Sid will jog their memories.
I think it just might. Thank you. I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me. But if they have, I'll have no choice but to discipline them accordingly. They were in the atrium when I last saw them. As always.
We're gonna go there. We just need to speak with Tomes first. We need ingredients.
Lordman Harpocrates. I've come to pick your brain if you don't mind. It's about the book you lent Ivan.
Ah, Valisthea, A Culinary Pilgrimage, a classic. One of my favorites, in fact. The young man did a wonderful job with the Chance's stew. I do hope we shall be able to sample more such marvels in due course.
That's actually why I'm here. I don't suppose you know where I might find skyworm livers and drake's mint.
Ah, so the fabled Sandbrequois delicacy is next on the menu. Delightful. The descriptions of fried mortress never fail to make my mouth water. Now, skyworm is a somewhat antiquated name for the wyvern, their ground livers being the paste from which the mortress is made.
Dragon livers. How very Sandbrequois.
Yeah.
One would have thought the disciples of Bahamut would have a touch more reverence for their Eikons brethren, but apparently not. I believe the specific dragon the recipe demands is the blueback wyvern, said to be the very color of the sea beside which it resides.
So we know where to look for our liver. But what about the drake's mint?
Saint's bonnet in contemporary parlance, a herb which grows along the North Reach coast. I gather that one can locate the cheerful yellow flowers by their heady scent alone, so I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding them. I may add that people once believed game was best served with the flora that sustained it in life, in which regard fried mortress of skyworm is undoubtedly a typical dish of the time.
Meaning that if I find one, I find the other. To Northreach, then.
Best of luck, Clive. And do save me a bite once the dish is complete.
Sure, you can have mine. The free cities of Canver and Tabor, a federation of neighboring independent city-states located to the southeast of the Dalmekian Republic. While originally part of Dalmekia, the cities are achieved their independence in the year 857, hoping to step away from the Republic's internal struggles and focus instead of the commerce upon which their prosperity had been built. Political power currently resides with a council of guildmasters, prominent Canverian traders and craftspeople. The lack of a dominant or a mother crystal to covet, along with its considerable financial resources, allows Canver to retain both its independence and neutrality in the face of considerable turmoil elsewhere. As such, it lacks a standing army, the defense of its walls having been relegated to a small yet well-trained city guard. Okie dokie. Sounds a little bit like the Dominion before it was attacked, stolen. Well, let's read about Tabor when we are there.
Is a storm coming soon?
Maybe go up to the kids?
Seems the hideaways.
Is there something in my room?
Aye, all their fancy silk stained red.
Yeah, I have something. Oh, that's not in my room. Oh, that's the kids, the Artarium. But I do have a letter. Letters! Clive, you have the town's thanks for helping rid us of the thralls. But we are neither of us so naive to think we have seen the end of their like. Good Philippe has taken to seeing that we are prepared should the ghouls come once again calling. But I oft worry the rank of captain has begun to weigh heavily upon his shoulders. Just as I imagined, the same might be said of you and your burdens. But remember, should the weight ever become too much, you needn't stand alone. Our hearts and arms remain ever open, as do the veal stores. Clive would never, let me just tell you that. He would never in a million years. Not even when he's dead. But okay, Isabella. Isabel. I won't say anything to Jill, because she will have you. The Guardians are getting along with the Axis fine enough, working to shore up the rest's walls when not clearing out what few threats remain down in the reeds. Though, chances are we'd still be neck deep in Akashic, had you not given that horde your firm but gentle nudge. I know you've a realm to save and all. If you're ever in need of a quick reviver, come see us and we'll tap you a cask. Martha. Martha is a strong leader for her people at the rest. She does a lot. The flames burn bright. You have an uncanny talent of showing up where you're most needed, my lord. Without your steel, I fear the rest would be in the hands of the Akashic, and us but more of their nameless numbers. However, with the horde now both thinned and fractured, we Guardians can focus our efforts on putting down the smaller packs without the worry of being overwhelmed. While Martha's blood axes can return to defending the Tor, as for young Oscar, you will forgive my sudden request for taking him under your wing. He's a good man. Attentive, polite, hardworking, so as you can see, he already has learned everything he can from me. He would do well to continue his squiring under a more worthy shield, and the realm has none more worthy than you, Wade. Well, even if Clive doesn't think so, but that's also because Clive doesn't take compliments well. The Guard and League have put aside their differences for the time being, allowing us all leave to sip our snake spit in relative leisure. For that, I would hazard. We have your better half to thank. She put on quite a performance. As for yours, well, from one aspiring thespian to another, might I suggest working on your delivery? And your projection, and those stiff limbs of yours. And your countenance, and well, everything else. We wouldn't want to do the name Underhill a disservice now, would we, Lubor? We got absolutely shredded into pieces by Lubor. He basically told us we suck. But that's okay. He's handsome, so I apologize for this sudden and untoward gesture. Circumstances have forced me to seek immediate aid, and there is none other to whom I may turn. Your most esteemed Lord Uncle has precedented me with a task more vexing, and I fear I am wholly unable to perform this valued expectation, namely due to a marked lack of martial aptitude on my part. To wit, I am but a man's servant, not a mercenary, while I maintain the fitness ample to attend to the needs of a manor, to the attending of bandits in back alleys, and surely ill-equipped, if it pleases you, my lord. Prithee, come and see me at Martha's Rest, where I shall proceed to explain my predicament in full. Sebastian Rutherford. Seneschal to Lord Byron Rosfield. Answer Rutherford's summons? Yes, we will. Smooth like a butler. I love that.
Rutherford. Wasn't that the name of my uncle's manservant? Why would he be at Martha's Rest?
Smooth like butler. I'm gonna use that instead of butter. Let's go. Speak with the children, maybe? And I don't know how much longer I can play. So this will probably be the last thing I do, depending on how long this quest is.
We're all gonna die! You hear me?
What do you reckon we should do? I say we should just tell Miss Shirley.
You'll get us all straight. I'm telling you, I can fix them.
Let me help, kids. I'm smart. I can act.
Sid!
Hard at your studies, I see. And what is that? It's not a set of scales, is it?
No. Of course it isn't.
Well, not anymore, it's not. Oh,
And just how long hasn't it been one?
we're sorry.
But we didn't break them. We dismembered them.
Just like Miss Mididol showed us.
Miss Mididol?
Disassembled?
And why would she have you dismembering her creations?
Because that's the only way to become a ninja-neer.
Miss Mididol said, the best way to see how something works is to take it apart and put it back together again.
Well then, your work is already half done. Carry on.
About that.
The taking apart was easy enough, but it's the putting back we can't work out.
Speak for yourself. The heavy thing goes at the bottom. Then...
So are you telling me we need to
take
do this?
responsibility for your actions. So let's have a look at these parts with fresh eyes, shall we?
Inspect the scales.
All right. Everything here was once part of Miss Mididol's scales. Every piece has its own role to play, and each is just as important as the others. If even one of them is missing, the scales won't work. So let's think about what those roles might be. You already know one of the pieces. The body. Its role is to support everything else. But what of the others? This is called the arm. Why do you suppose that is? It doesn't look much like an arm.
You're right. It looks more like a wing. Like a chocobo wing!
You've ridden a chocobo before, haven't you, Sid? Will you teach me to ride one day?
I'll think about it. Now, what do arms do?
Hold things. So wait, maybe this arm holds things too?
Good thinking. You're on the right track.
The pans?
These round parts are called the pans. You all know what a pan is, don't you?
I do. Molly uses them in the kitchens to fry bangers. But these aren't for frying bangers, you idiot. They're for weighing stuff. But what if I wanted to weigh goods? I don't think he'd fit on that little thing.
Probably not.
What are the chains for? Holding the pans up?
Well spotted. Which means something must hold the chains up in turn.
The gear?
This tiny piece is what's called a cogwheel, or gear. Have you ever seen one before?
I have. Miss Mididol's dungeon is full of them. Most are on the floor.
She puts them in all her inventions. They spin round and round and round and round and...
That's right. They're very useful when you want to make things move. Do you remember if there was anything on the scales that moved?
I remember the arm moved when I tried weighing an apple. And then somebody ate it.
Not my fault. You shouldn't have tried weighing it before lunch.
We know what part's supposed to move and how it's supposed to move. So, let's put the pieces together first, see what doesn't move, and then stick the cogwheel to that.
Not a bad idea. You see? It's not so difficult. So, now that we've taken stock of the parts and learned what they do, what do you think?
I think we've got it.
Then here's what we'll do. You tell me what goes where, and I'll put the scales together.
He's so patient.
Well, obviously you need to start with the body. All the other pieces fit onto it, don't they?
And the arms go on the body, just like real arms. Or wings, if you're a chocobo. And then the arms hold the pans by the chains.
Very good. Let's see if that works. There. All finished.
Huh.
Yes! We did it!
Well, with Sid's help.
The cogwheel?
No, I just put the pieces together. It was you three engineers who showed me how.
That's right. We're Miss Middledor's hairs.
Her hairs?
Yeah, hairs for the future. She's showing us her secrets now, so we can help out the hideaway when we're older.
What do you think, Sid? Are we almost ready?
He means
With a little more help from Miss Middledor and Miss Shirley, I'd say it won't be long at all.
You hear that? It won't be long.
Until then, though, do try to be honest with Miss Shirley.
But we missed a piece.
Hey, look! We never used the cogwheel.
You don't think Sid forgot about it, do you?
I mean, maybe he did. But why would we need one? Isn't that for weighing the cogwheel? Just like putting it there and be like, whoop. Just to test it out? I don't see where it would fit. Or why it would be needed.
Didn't happen to forget anything, did you, Sid? Didn't happen to forget anything, did you, Sid?
This kid! I see she's still interested in Dion, who's right now in a coma. Speak with Shirley in the shelves. Okay, I'm gonna do that and then quit for today. Such soothing music. I could sleep to this.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be...
Well, did you solve the mystery?
It was as you thought. The children had the scales, or the parts of them at least. They dismantled them to see how they worked.
Oh, no, Mid will have my head.
Thankfully she won't. This might even have been her idea. Although I was the one who ended up teaching the lesson.
I'm so sorry, Sid. I know how busy you are. I shall see that the children are properly punished.
Please, there's no need. Mid seems to have taken the three of them under her wing. She's even calling them her heirs. She'd have them follow in her footsteps. And her father's.
That's
I
sweet.
see. Sid, do you know why Mid has been spending so much time at the hideaway of late?
She told me it was because her studies have been interrupted by events in Canva. Is that not true?
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission. In exchange for full tuition, room and board, they asked her to oversee the design of several new war engines. To anyone else it would be an opportunity, but to Mid, who lost both her parents to war, it was a bitter pill. One she was none too keen to swallow. But that should come as no surprise. She's only ever cared about bringing people hope. the very last thing war can be said to do.
Which explains her heirs. She's working to give them a better life. And so should I. What's the odd engineering lesson?
Ah, you've given them far more than that. And I'm sure they're very grateful.
So, Mid's biological parents died in war. So Sid took her in, like an adoptive child. That's so sweet. So there is no mother, there's just Sid. Well, she must feel devastated, having lost Sid now. Having lost her father twice. Central Dalmekia. Heading Torgal. Oh, this is gonna be so much fun. We're gonna hear brothers bantering. Cloak and Dagger.
It's like a dream. The four of us out walking like we used to.
Enjoying this, are you? Gav and the others could be in danger as we speak.
You're right. I'm sorry. Yote
what was
is a
that?
fine scout. If Canville was attacked, she will already have begun gathering information.
Tabor isn't far. We should pick up the pace.
Is it just me, or was that a little bit out of character for Clive? To snap at his brother like that? I mean... yeah. That felt really out of character. I think that line would have been somewhere else, not here. Yeah. I'm gonna quit the episode now. Thank you all for watching. Bye bye!